Let's knit this gorgeous baby blanket featuring delicate angels and hearts. I'll show you exactly how. The heart has been duplicate stitched with a tapestry needle and a single strand of contrast yarn. Now, I don't happen to have a standard tapestry needle on hand. I'm going to use this double eye needle, which will serve me really well. I'll show you a photo of a real standard tapestry needle that you're going to want to use. Okay? During the knitting process, you came to a row that asked you to mark where to start the heart duplication. So that is right here. I'm coming up from the underside right here, and I'm going to pull up my contrasting yarn, which I chose mint green. And remember, folks, we're not limited to baby colors, are we? We can use just as most brightest colors as we want, or any colors that we want. And what I'll do now is copy this stitch by working from right to left, or if you're left-handed, left to right, by going under these bars of the stitch above, pulling through. There you see we've duplicated 1/2 of the teardrop stitch, and then simply stab the needle right back down in the middle from where we started. And you see now how we just duplicated that stitch very nicely, and on the back we made sure we pulled through and left no loops. Okay? Next, I'm going to come up to the right and above the stitch we just made, because I want to start expanding this heart already. So that would be right here. Duplicate that stitch. Like so. And now there's that one. I'm going to move to this stitch next and that stitch next. At this point, we're over here, and I want to come out, further expanding the heart above and beyond where we left off. And duplicate this stitch. And there's the start of this expanse. Watch and feel for if you're getting hung up underneath here. Just make sure everything is nice and neat underneath. And we'll resume going across. Now I'm going to continue on above the same 5 stitches across for 2 more rows before I make the humps of the top of the heart. Here's my little heart then. What I did is I did go up that extra row I told you I would, 5 across. Then the next row I went 4 across, leaving the middle stitch empty, and the same for the final row. I just hit 2 stitches with the middle stitch empty. Pretty cute, and it sure looks complete now. Weave in and tie off your ends. Now, if you were following along with the fold graph, and good for you if you were, you'll notice I made a smaller heart than is portrayed in that fold graph. If you follow the fold graph, you're going to come out with a heart that looks more like that and maybe preferred. I just kind of did it the fast way so you would get the idea of how to do it so that we can move on. Here you get a real good close-up look. Here's what the big blanket looks like once it's done being knit, before it gets duplicate stitched on the hearts and before it has a pretty shell edge all the way around for a border. This is what it looks like, and I want to show you what it looks like in the blue blanket. This is the blue blanket, and it looks pretty nice too. Remember though, we talked about how we're not limited to just baby colors. These could be any colors you wanted. Realizing these 2 blankets have been folded up, so they're a little bit wrinkled, but aren't they sweet? And once they have the hearts duplicate stitched on them and a shell crochet border all the way around the edge, they'll be just entirely, ultimately sweet. This video has gotten rather long, so I want you to follow the directions in either the dragonflies or the butterflies video, part 4, for how to do the shell crochet edge that you're going to be ever so glad you did. Alternatively, if you're good at adjusting patterns, if you don't want to crochet or don't know how to crochet around the edge, you could lead up to, away from, and in each side, garter stitches that will help this blanket lie flat. That's it, folks. That's everything I know about how to make one of these sweet angels and hearts blankets. Hey knitters, if you enjoyed this video, let me know it by hitting the like button below, and as long as you're down there, click subscribe. Now, go purchase this pattern in my Etsy shop at the link in the description below and make yourself a sweet confection of a glad knitter.